All right, so for today's talk about law stuff, I thought I'd share with you another of my obscure hobbies, which is winemaking. I started making wine in my basement during the pandemic, and I have a lot of fun with it. It's terrible wine. It's not good. It's not going to kill you, but it's like boxed wine before boxed wine got better. That's the quality of this wine. Some of it's better than others, but I really like making it because I really enjoy coming up with funny names for my wines. So to that end, coming up with names for things, that leads me into a conversation about trademark. So trademark is it's any mark or symbol or even color or I'll just stop there, but other things can be trademarks that tells the consumer the source of the good or service they're purchasing. So here's a good example. Tiffany's, the blue color. That if you get something in a Tiffany's box, even if it doesn't say Tiffany's on it, people know or should be able to rely on the fact that the jewelry inside is from that company. So that's what trademark does. So a lot of people will go ahead and register their trademarks themselves or not bother to register it and just start using a mark. And you can do that because trademark rights start when you start using a mark in commerce. Registration isn't necessary to have a trademark. Once you start using your mark in commerce and you start to develop it, as long as it's something that can be a trademark, and there's a whole other conversation about that, then you get protection. Now, registration is important though for stronger protections, and also it notifies the rest of the world that this is your trademark. But you can register a trademark on your own. You don't have to register a trademark to use it, but you should talk to a trademark attorney, not just an attorney that does wills and trusts that can also tell you about trademark. Talk to an attorney that does trademark work, because we have search software that is not usually used by just general practitioners. And what that does is we can search and make sure before you start using your mark or before you try to register it, we want to make sure that no one else has the rights to that mark or something substantially similar. So it's more advanced than just a Google search. It's more advanced than just doing a search of the trademark office website, which you should do, but it's more involved and there are more layers to it. And the reason it's important is because if you don't do that and you start using your mark and you spend a lot of money making, signage or packaging or whatever it is that you're using for your marketing, you spend all that money, time, and energy to try to grow your brand. Well, what I've had happen with my clients is they'll get a letter from an attorney or from a person that says, you have to stop using that mark immediately because it's mine or it's substantially similar to mine. So I actually sent one of those letters out on behalf of a client. They run a coffee shop. There was another coffee shop that opened up in a different state that had nearly the same name. One was singular, one was plural, but basically the same name. And my client was using the mark first, so they could prevent that other coffee shop from using their mark, and they did. And the unfortunate thing is the party that's the second in line, the junior user is what we call them, has to stop using that trademark. So you lose all of the money and time and energy you put into developing your mark. And you have to start all over. And it's really frustrating. And it's heartbreaking to have to tell a client that they have to stop using their name or their product line name or be whatever it is. So before you spend a lot of money, energy, and time growing your brand and developing your trademark, talk to an attorney that specializes in this area of law and make sure that no one else has the right to use that mark, and no one has the ability to prevent you from using the mark.